They say that often the biggest explosion in a room isn't heard, but seen. Today, in the shadows of Martinsville Speedway's finish line, that explosion manifested itself as raw disappointment and shattered expectations. Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney were not only irritated, they were enraged, because this was not just another race, this was everything. Logano, a three-time Cup Series champion, stood outside the Final Four as it ended. Blaney, starting in 31st place and battling his way forward, came thundering down the stretch, only to be stopped cold. "I do not know," Joey stated. "It appeared that right at the end of that run, the top 5 cars began to tank. But it seems like the tires fall off huge, then everyone's the same speed, then they started tanking right at the end. Then caution was issued, correct? You have to do something different, right? You cannot do the same." He paused. "We would have been killed if we had stayed outside. With that many laps on your tires, there's no chance. We're just too far behind, right? We just couldn't close the distance. It wasn't good enough." Blaney was a warrior in this bout. He began 31st. "Honestly, I thought it was impossible to win this race from 31st, Jeff Gordon admitted, and worked his way up. He said, "I think back to the lengthy run before the previous yellow. William got past me and I just got away. My drive was diminishing quickly after 2 laps. I attempted to manage, and it's just 2 guys going for it. I do not blame him for accepting that. I kind of lost momentum, and to be honest, I would have done the same thing." Those comments, courteous and almost heroic in defeat, concealed a deeper volatility. Because while he spoke of sportsmanship, within the cockpit, the blast of hope had already begun. Let's go back to where the pandemonium began. Martinsville, 500 laps of metal combat. Blaney charged across the field, plan in one hand and grit in the other. He dominated the second part of the race and appeared to be the one to beat. Then came the moment. With 44 laps remaining, the leader, William Byron, attacked. In turn 1, he pushed by Blaney and took the lead. Byron subsequently commented, "Damn, I got a lot to say," smiling. "Things have a way of working out. God often tests your resilience. We obviously traveled to Phoenix. Just go try to kick ass there." Blaney saw his chances go in a flash. He stated, "To start where we did and make up the ground that we did was really impressive." In the end, the 24 outperformed us only little. I lost rear drive faster than he did, but he was able to maintain it longer, eventually taking the lead. Proud of the work. "It's a shame we're not going to Phoenix as part of the championship 4 inches." The bitterness of pride, he fought hard but someone else won. Meanwhile, Logano's night ended in frustration. "Bummed," he admitted. "I'm not sure whether there is another word for it. I am just disappointed that one of us did not make it. Everyone has worked hard enough to deserve to be there. We just couldn't get it done today, or in the previous 3 races. That's what everything boils down to." The truth was in his tone. He wasn't simply missing a race, but the event itself. And here we are. 2 drivers from Team Penske, a powerhouse, a dynasty, a team that has won championships in the next-gen era, were eliminated. Logano and Blaney's failure to advance to the Final Four has altered the landscape. "This is anyone's race now," Jeff Gordon declared. "We saw what they did in New Hampshire. We witnessed what they did today. Blaney started at 30th. He drove up the field. They put themselves in a situation. But today, they hit a roadblock, literally and figuratively. And when the final checkered flag flew, Penske's iron-fisted grip on the championship crumbled. The field had changed. The momentum shifted. Logano and Blaney experienced a complete and visible meltdown. In the stands, people saw the collapse of 2 titans. On the pit wall, the crew chiefs and mechanics exchanged looks. At the front, Byron and Kyle Larson advanced. Calls were made. The shifts have occurred. Logano and Blaney remained mute throughout. What does the silence sound like? It sounds like a strategy discussion that ended with what-ifs. It sounds like tires are wearing thin, while hope burns fat. It sounds like an engine roaring before fading into a hum of failure. However, the plot remains unfinished. Because when one chapter ends, another begins. Blaney said it himself. "We'll do our best to finish the year strong." Logano, well, he'd return. The spark may be quenched, but not extinguished. It is the day after Martinsville, and the wreckage is still smoking. Not the automobiles, but the emotions. The consequences from what transpired has shattered not only Team Penske's season, but the entire power structure at the top of NASCAR. There are no Penske drivers in the Championship 4. That is not a statistic, it is a statement. Let me clarify. For the past 3 years, winning a title required a Penske Ford. They were the rulers of the next-gen period. Ruthless, strategic, efficient. Joey Logano, NASCAR's boogeyman. Ryan Blaney, calm, smooth, and surgical. Together, they were a double-edged sword, and now, gone. I was eliminated after just one race. Blaney gave it all. He nearly made it mythological. From 31st on the grid to race leader with less than 50 laps to go. That's not a return, it's a resurrection. However, it ultimately came down to inches, seconds. William Byron executed a single aggressive move. Byron didn't simply win the race, he took it. Blaney was elbowed aside. He drove off into the twilight, Penske's ticket to Phoenix in his rearview mirror. "I hate that we made contact," Byron stated. "I believe he was leaving just enough room as well. I was headed into the corner, committed. That's like competing for space. It's difficult to race. We both want to make it to Championship 4. It's a race victory. There is no ill will. It's just tough racing, racing for the win. It was a hard race." That's the phrase everyone loves to use after winning the trophy. What about Blaney, though? He swallowed it gracefully. "There were two guys going for it." "I'd have done the same thing," he said. "That is the heart of a champion, even if he isn't going to race for one." So what about Logano, the three-time champion who has converted pressure into victory more than once? He appeared practically bewildered following the run. "You might have argued 2 tires there. It was close. We were almost too far behind. We just couldn't close the distance. It wasn't good enough." That is the sound of realization. The math did not add up. The strategy didn't work. So, what are the results? Inevitable. Jeff Gordon, watching from the Hendrick Motorsports camp, put it up best. They've carried that on into Phoenix, right, and have won championships in the last several years. I think it's wide open. And without Penske, wide open means vulnerable rather than fascinating. 4 drivers, Byron, Larson, Briscoe, and Hamlin, 2 Hendrick, 2 Gibbs, all are capable, none are dominant. Christopher Bell, who almost missed the cut, handled his elimination with dignity, but with a heavy heart. We need to be more consistent. We have glimpses of excellence and then taper down. And tonight, we were just another guy out there. But Bell's disappointment was surgical. For Penske, it was cataclysmic. Think about it. Logano needed to win. Blaney nearly did. Neither made it. And perhaps the most disturbing part, nobody in the Championship 4 wanted to see them there. Why? Because Penske spoils parties. Penske does not only show up, they crash the field, rewrite the conclusion, and walk away with the championship. Instead, William Byron takes center stage. I would put that last restart right in there. "I mean, he nailed that restart," Gordon commented. "He not only got the jump in the restart area, but he also drove it deep into one." I also expected Blaney to give him the bumper. William did not give him the opportunity to do that. It wasn't only a victory, it was a block, a denial, a pivotal moment in the finals. As NASCAR goes to Phoenix, the Final 4 is set. However, one cannot not but feel the tremors of those who are not present. The silence in the Penske camp is thunderous. Blaney is heartbroken. Logano suffers defeat. Gone, but not forgotten. Because this is the risk of underestimating champions. They remember. Blaney said it best. "Just not quite enough tonight, but we'll move on." And they will. Logano, he will sharpen his sword. Blaney, he will turn agony into speed. And next year, you can bet your final pair of tires will come back like a freight train. Here's a question for you. Was this the end of an empire or simply the prelude to the next storm? Please let me know in the comments.